There is only one.
Tsuburaya Productions.
References. Now, if you were around yesterday, or, well, the 17th of March 2021, then you probably heard about the metric fuckton of news that happened in the Ultraman franchise, the main selling point being the new thing, Tsuburaya Imagination. And when it came out, I noticed quite a lot of people that were mainly thinking this one particular thing. What even is this? Not to toot my own horn or anything, or come off as a complete no-lifer or as a complete dick, but I did write the article on the wiki for this particular page, so I've done a lot of research into this topic as well, as much as I could really, given the information that we currently have available to us. So now I'm just going to discuss what we know so far, what could be the potential future aspects, and answering some potential questions like, will this be localized, etc. Just to give people who don't have a clue what this thing is a chance to find out. In a fun way rather than having to read. And don't worry, I'm going to make this as least like a trailer analysis video as I can possibly make it. Just because I myself would actually throw myself out the window if I were to subject anyone to a trailer breakdown style video. Now I hear that some people weren't exactly too happy to find out that this mystery countdown Tsuburaya started out of nowhere, and thought was going to be a countdown to a reveal of a new show, was just for this platform. But let me inform you people that you're wrong for discrediting it, and allow me to explain. Tsuburaya Imagination is a newly launched streaming and news platform. The streaming part most people managed to figure out, but the news part, oh. While acting as an addition to the Tsuburaya Station website, it also acts as Tsuburaya's own in-house streaming platform for a vast majority of the company's products, including visual medium like the shows and the movies of course, but more aspects like audio recordings, reading material, and miniseries. As you may have been able to infer, this isn't limited to simply Ultraman products, but IPs from across all of Tsuburaya's catalogue. Well, most of it, I shall get back onto that later. It is a paid subscription service for a majority of the content. You can create a free unpaid account, but the amount of things you'll be able to access is very limited, and you'll have to pay individual episode fees, should you wish to watch beyond episode 2 of a given show. There are a couple other membership plans you can purchase. A monthly standard account, which will cost 550 yen including tax, allows access to every single piece of Ultraman content on the platform, access to the live events that happen, and the exclusive content that can only be found on this service. Plus merch. Merch is always nice. This leaves you with, as the website describes, over 1,200 pieces of content to watch, listen, or read. But what if you're not into simply just Ultraman? For those truly dedicated, you can pay an obscene amount of money per year in order to access the premium content. With it you can access premium exclusive items in the shop, some premium exclusive readable and watchable content. Sure, you've got to shell out, but I think the amount of money is honestly worth it, given just the vast array of things that you have at your disposal. But of course, this is just an optional extra payment. There's no real push for you to do it at all if you do not want to. Plus, if you're watching this, then you probably likely can't, because you don't live in Japan. That's right, this service is currently, emphasis on the currently, only exclusive to Japanese audiences. Which is a real shame, but we'll get on to that a little bit later. In terms of original content that this streaming platform offers, we haven't exactly seen anything mind-blowing, so to say, in terms of what we can expect from it in the future. As for what's currently available right now, well, namely, quite a lot of readable content. But you're not here for reading, you're an Ultraman fan, you don't read. So what about the watchable content that's exclusive? Well, as of current, there isn't that much. There's a director's cut of Absolute Conspiracy, if you want to see an additional however many minutes added to the runtime. And of course, there's the one people actually care about. Seven-Gar Fight, set before and in between episodes of the Z TV show. Now, just look at this. What does this thing remind you of? Well, let's take to the YouTube comments and see. Oh, yep. Oh, what a surprise. While yes, there isn't exactly too much in the way of original content as of right now, think about the stuff that already exists that you can get. What, you really want to know? You really want to know everything that you can get right now? Well, sorry, but my lung capacity isn't large enough to say everything that is currently on there. Much easier to say things that aren't, to be quite honest. So, let's just do this particular segment upcoming right now, and then I'll tell you what they don't have on there, and then you can use your brains, yeah, to figure out, like, what is on there, okay? Does that sound cool? Yeah, nice. Yeah, so, like, I've just thought of this thing whilst editing. Why don't I take you on a tour of the website to show you what it's about? Since I've talked about it so much, and I thought, you know what? Might as well provide some visual content to go with it, and I can give you the grand tour, so to say. Plus it requires less editing on my part. But anyway, I digress. And yes, this is a live segment because, like, I mean, easy. And also, do you really want it to be like Pacific Zilla and go through a fucking VTuber phase? Like, really, me. So when you enter the website, you'll notice an image at the top. It doesn't have to be from Ultraman's story, but it is at the moment. Followed by a welcome message and a couple of top headlines, such as, "We love Seven-Gar." I mean, he's fine. There's a lot of stands for him now, I've noticed. But down here is the important bit, right? Here we can see some of the original content that's come out, like the Seven-Gar Fight episodes 1 and 2, which are currently available, as you can see. At the time of this recording, the day after the service has started, episode 2 is still only a premium exclusive, but I'm under the impression that they will make that not a premium by next week if they are releasing, or whenever episode 3 is released on service. Here's the Ultraman Z Storage Formation prequel story. This is in the form of a script. Here we have a cast interview with the Fight Seven-Gar returning cast. Here's the director's cut of Absolute Conspiracy. And here's a Seven-Gar Fight interview with Monsieur Taguchi. Next up we have the Japanese translation of The Rise of Ultraman, which is pretty cool. Followed by the Fight Seven-Gar manga, which isn't going to get confusing at all. A Fight Seven-Gar manga and Seven-Gar Fight, the show, both of which are prequels to Z and focus on Seven-Gar. I see no way that these two could get confused in any way at all. Down here we have the merch shop. Like, oh, there's some lovely t-shirts of Seven-Gar again. Oh look, there's a Seven-Gar. Oh, Seven-Gar. Oh look, Fireman. Look. Oh, but there's a Seven-Gar hoodie. There's a lot of Seven-Gars. One thing I really want to point out merch-wise is this watch. I mean, I've seen some non-functional watches in my time, but my god. Anyway, back on the homepage we have a contents tab. Here's just a little introduction as to the service. There's some of the stuff we've seen before. There's another Genesis, that manga that everyone wants to read. There's a guide, which we'll go over later, and a goods section. Here's some upcoming live events, including a VR tour of the Land of Light. This panel, starring Koji, Tayo, and Koshi. Ooh! And a live broadcasting of the Ultra Heroes Expo 2021. Nice. At the bottom here we can see a range of recommended content, including Seven-Gar Fights again, Andromelos, the Tegan Diner movie, the colour version of Ultra Q Episode 1, first episode of Original Ultra Fight, the first episode of Neos, and that one Heisei 7 special. I'm forgetting the name of the first one. On the bottom tab here we can see Riku's Actors Ultra Eye. Ooh, wonder what that could mean. Some other things like the Kaiju profile, the Tsuburaya Kaiju secrets. Ooh, Around a Z, which is that thing I mentioned earlier about the origins of things that appeared in Z, like Seven-Gar. This website really likes Seven-Gar, and individual episode guides. If we go up, oh look, there's Wyndham now. Wyndham's on the page, nice. If we click on the mascot character here, who by the way, right, this character's name is I, right? Yes, the single most overused name for a mascot character for any service ever in Japan. And I'm pretty sure that the mascot of Kaiju Battle Breeders is also called I, which is just like, come on Tsuburaya, get creative with this shit. But now you click on this character and it takes you to what they call planets, which are essentially just categories for things and content to watch. Like, you could have M78 Showa Timeline stuff, or, well, I have to say Showa Timeline, yeah, Showa Timeline, TDG content, New Gen content, movies, worlds where heroes didn't show up, which will be shows like 10-4, 10-10, Operation Mystery, and Ultra Q, the Ultra Fight worlds, which includes the new ones and the old ones, the animes, and the other Tsuburaya Toku Heroes category. And if that doesn't fill your boots enough, we've got all of these individual shows, which all come with their own movies and stuff, if they're applicable. Down at the bottom, you can see Galaxy Fight is its own separate category, and so is Ultra Neon, because of course that's on here. Followed by the not so well known series. All the way down, 10-4, 10-10, Tsuburaya Dinosaur, the Tsuburaya Dinosaur trilogy, Andromelos, Gridman, and a couple of documentary films. These sections are not just limited to the visual content either. If there is readable or listenable content to go along with it, then they'll be provided on these particular sections. So for example, let's go on Richard Leo. Go onto Leo's category, get a nice image of episode 1 at the top. The round set of Sevengar, Leo as showing itself. Don't know why that's honestly here. And every single episode of Leo going in descending order. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, if you were to have a regular account, I don't have a regular account of course because I live quite literally on the other side of the world from where this service is provided, yet I can still access the website. Okay, sure. Let's say you're planning to watch episode 46, then you would need a standard account in order to access this content, which of course is the 550 yen account type. You can also of course access it through premium, as you can with every other thing on the website. But yeah, that's just a little roundabout tour of what the website currently looks like, what content is available on there, and now let's get back over to Edited Me, because I guess I feel like doing something now. Yay. Now, as I've alluded to already, probably multiple times by now, this service has a lot of content, but what does it currently not have? Well, it's honestly a rather short list, and some of them people like only me would really care about the fact that they're not on here, like shows like Unbalance, or the non-tokusatsu Tsuburaya shows like Moon Spiral, or the single best show in the entire world, Our Detective Baseball Team. But there is some very notable outliers here, including Born Free, the first of the Tsuburaya Dinosaur trilogy. I mean, the other two are there, so why isn't Born Free? And the four most apparent ones: Ultraman Nexus, Ultraman Powered, aka the Ultimate Hero, and Tiga and Dinah's series are not present on here at all. Hey, Mr. Tsuburaya man over there.
What is it, you filthy pilgrim?
Have you also heard of this show Bioplanet Woo that you made?
What's a Bioplanet Woo? I know no such show.
Well, yeah, you did make it, and it's not on your streaming service, and also neither's Tiga, Dinah, or Nexus. Do you run like, well, in fact, nothing related to Ultra End projects at all? Do you like, what do you have to say to that?
You're asking too many questions, kid.
Like, okay, I understand, like, I mean, but like, I'm just like asking, you know, like, is it because of like Daigo's actor? Is that a similar problem?
Oh, I see you want to be Daigon as well.
Okay, fine, fucking goddamn, alright, I'll go. Oh yeah, by the way, I love your content. Do you mind if I like get a sponsorship deal or something like that? Okay, bye. So yeah, there's some pretty glaring omissions. Will these be added in? I mean, it'd be stupid not to, considering, you know, it's Tiga and Dinah mainly, and as a Dinah stan, I would very much appreciate a high quality way to watch this officially in a way that I can support the company. But I guess they just don't want that. I guess, well, I mean, it's probably a similar reason why Asuka and Daigo are not present in any way apart from being their names called in that Chronicle show that's airing right now, but no, please just give me Diner. I can do without Powered or Tiga, and like, okay, I'd like a Nexus as well, and Bioplanet Wu, but like, please. So this leaves us with a very important question. Will this service be localized? And honestly, given the wording of some of Tsuburaya's tweets in English, it does seem very, like, not obvious, but it seems like they're alluding to the fact that, yes, they will be bringing this service overseas. However, I would not wager on it being around here anytime soon. And to be quite honest, I don't think I'll get it in the UK, but I think you Yanks are going to have a field day with this, and I'm just going to be over here, sat in the corner in my little island, envious. I do have my fingers crossed though, I really hope it comes here, but I'm very doubtful. Because, think about it. Think about all of the content that's on this website already, and all of it would need to be translated. That's going to take a very long time, so while I think they will, I don't think it will be for at least a couple of months. And I also believe that what they're trying to do is selling it over in Japan first, because, that's their primary market. Then, if it's a successful service over there, then bring it over here, because, like, it would just make sense from a business standpoint, at least in my opinion, to do so. In terms of what we could see on the service in the future, probably those shows I mentioned earlier that aren't on there currently. Plus, it's obvious that they will have to create some more actual original content. I wouldn't count on it being something like, oh, the 2021 Ultraman show is going to be exclusive to this service. Like, no, they won't do that. It's going to be mainly spin-off material like they've been showcasing already, I believe, like the 7-Gar fights being a spin-off to Z. But, yeah, definitely things related to main series, but not actually a main series itself. I think the only series that could be, maybe, put on there as an exclusive is a Neos Season 2, because that would just make sense given the context of Neos's release, but that's a very not high likelihood, I'd say. We should also expect to see a lot more interviews, definitely a lot more written content, because that's the easiest thing that they can make, really, because, especially given the current situation around the world that we all know and love so much. So there's your roundabout tour of what Tsuburaya Imagination is, what it has, what it might have in the future, and hey, I hope you found this interesting, maybe informative. I mean, I would have hoped, considering that was the entire reason I made this, but if you didn't find it informative, well, that's your problem. So, yeah, that's really all I have to say on it. Hope you enjoyed, and yeah, okay, bye.